Today's session of the Post-Trial Study Group, or PTSG, in the case against Letitia Stauch, is hosted by Crime Curious and sponsored by the Law Offices of Clifton Black and Excalibur Private Investigation.
At this time, we'll play People's Exhibit 732, which is the interview that took place on November 16th, 2022 with Dr. Lewis. We're going to start it at 55:30 and end it at 102:37.
About 30 minutes.
And it's about 7 minutes. 55:30.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misheard you. Okay, go ahead.
Not me, but someone else could take over and hurt someone, and that's not where I want to be. Yeah, because I don't want to do that. Like, that's not. So why these have been much? You know, it'd be so intense. Yeah. What your fix? I gotta say, it's for good intentions. So it's not like it's just some random person who don't cause problems. It's for good. Maybe it doesn't look good for some people, but it's for good. It's for someone for me really let me into a pretty bad fight or it's taken over. It's really bad, but carrying away. What's happening? What's going on here in that? Can you see? I am not violent. I am not violent. I am not a violent person. I am not violent at all. But I am not going to let people be tucked into bed. So I'm not going to let people be hurt because I don't do this to me. Okay? If someone is trying to hurt people, I'm going to make sure they're okay. Because that is what I do each and every time. I'm going to always make sure that people are going to be okay. So I don't look. Could you just let me understand why I'm always being asked what is going on in here? Because this is my job to do things for people and to protect them. Yeah. Because it's what I have to do. That is, people are the protector. I'm going to always do that because if people are molesting kids and people are hurting kids, this is what I do for them. And if people are hurting elderly people and people are always doing this to people, this is what I'm going to do. And when people are inside your home or inside my home, I'm going to protect them. Do you understand that? Understand that. They should like you know what everything. To protect. Where do you start when you protect? Can you look at me now? Do you know where? Do you know where you are? Where? Do you know where you are? Yeah. And who have I talked to? Taylor. And I'm frustrated. Taylor, do you know what just happened? Just what? Just now? What just happened? You asked me about my grandpa. I asked you to grandpa. Oh, we were talking about Fred. I don't know. It's good to see Fred here. Prison dog. Yeah, he did work at a prison. I think it was in Lumberton, North Carolina. Where? Lumberton, North Carolina. Yeah. But I didn't know what just happened with you. No. Something really sketchy. Then I spoke with you, with someone who said, I protect them, I always protect them, I don't pay anything. Oh, sorry. What was this? Oh, I don't know. I just think who is the protection? Oh, sorry. I don't get it. I was saying sorry. I don't know what we were talking about. We were talking about credits, what I remember. You told me that it was a kind of space. Things. Who would be the protector? Oh, my protector is Maria. Maria, I would like very much to talk with you. If you want to talk to Maria, I don't know. Sometimes she'll talk, sometimes she won't. Whatever it is, I love it for you, Taylor. Yeah. Taylor, you will consider that. Taylor, where is your special place? You go when, say, Maria's in that. I like to go hang out and drink some wine and be by the beach and go and Tyler. Well, I would like to go there and let me come with Maria. And we'll do it. But now I'd like you to go to a special place, and Maria, I need to talk to you. Because Maria, you have a lot of control. What people do. Is that correct? I think she does, for sure, but I need to talk with you. Yeah, I know you can hear me. And you know who I am.
Okay, we paused it at 1 hour and 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Do you mind if I turned you around, Dr. Lewis? Okay, here we go. Is this the magic you were talking about yesterday?
Well, that was a joke. Technique in which we learned how to get to talk. Self with patients themselves by my helping. Get to was old days were used hypnosis much. However, it's known that dissociative individuals are very suggestive. So you always this. So if you're talking with a kid or with somebody, a problem, let's say, what do you suggest that we trust her, that we are find out more?
Mhm.
You know, we try not to say separate aspect of your work. And we learned, and this is not only from aggressive patients, but from a product. That is, that by and large, they have a special place because it is known that, say, there are 3 or 4 individual entities. Sometimes they can hear what's going on if you're. Sometimes they don't. And what we learn from our patients is to simply, what happens to you when you go? Where do you go? When I'm talking to so-and-so, Maria, where do you go? What about a special place? When you have a special?
And let me start. I get that. That's why you're asking at the end, tell me about your special place, so that the persona that you think is Maria comes out.
If you, someone can say, there is no special, I don't have a special place, but when it is very common.
But when we started the video, Maria came out, right? The protector. That's the first time in the entirety of your interviews with Miss Stauch that you think Maria comes out.
I don't recall if that is. You've watched it more than I know that was the first time, but
well, and
I know that she existed, and I did want the opportunity to learn more because I suspected that if indeed that perhaps it was in the guise or in the wanted to talk to the.
But you didn't do anything to have Maria come out. She just came out and started talking to you, right?
Sometimes.
Well, that's what happened in the video, right?
I watched kind of carefully, and I think I said, I really would like to talk to Maria. Very commonly, when at the beginning,
and was that the Russian accent that we heard on there that you were talking about?
I don't know. That appeared, and I'm not sure whether that is typically Maria or it's an entity or it's a combination. These are not well-defined, well-distinct.
Well, she said she's the protector, and you followed up and said, "Hey, we just talked to the protector." And then,
well, she said,
"Can I finish my question, please?" And then she said, "Well, yeah, Maria's my protector."
Yeah.
And then I'm Taylor. That's what she just said, right?
Right. Yes.
And there was no accent when the protector was on there, right?
Right.
She was speaking just like she speaks all the time.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure what the point was.
The point is, she didn't have an accent when she came out as Maria. That's the point, right?
You're not dealing with logic. It doesn't have. This is not a total different unit. Not a consistent person who remembers it or who would always be a certain way.
How do you know she's not fooling you? How do you know that?
Well, watch, listen, see what is consistent, see what isn't. Is there any benefit? So far, speaking with a Russian kind of accent, and not really Russian words, advantage, disadvantage, something.
Well, here's the benefit. Let me explain it to you, okay? You want consistency in your persona. If you want to say Maria comes out and speaks in a Russian accent, she should come out and speak in a Russian accent.
Is
that logical?
Logic. It is not logical.
Okay.
They are as logical as dreams.
So you handed her a piece of paper and asked her to sign her name.
Yeah.
What happened to that piece of paper?
Thought that I had anything. That. I will certainly find it for you.
Well, wait a minute here. You just told the court
But
that you don't have these documents, that you lost them. That's what you just...
There's probably, this is probably it.
Your Honor,
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have you step out in the hallway, back to the jury room, please. Guys, for the jury, please.
Dr. Lewis, we just took a break and Mr. Cellini and I just went through all your notes that you had here in the courtroom. Is that right? Having gone through those notes, we see no documents that you were using during the course of this interview with Ms. Stauch, correct?
Not yet. Because I don't know what there is there in terms of that interview. If you have the whole thing, you will see those documents in your.
Let me just ask you a simple question. Do you have those documents that you used in the interview with Ms. Stauch, yes or no?
I gave them to you, yeah. They are there, but they haven't.
At this time, I'm going to ask that the court take judicial notice that Mr. Cellini and I went through those stacks of notes, and none of the notes that she's referring to are in the stack of notes that she has in the court.
Mr. Tellini, it's not a judicial notice thing. It sounds like it's a stipulation.
There is the complex figure drawing that had not been referenced, that were notes that was a document that was turned over to this attorney, and that was in there. And I think that's a little bit of it is having. As far as the signatures or the alleged.
Okay.
There.
All right.
I would accept that stipulation and appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, Dr. Lewis. You know the importance of turning over notes that you use in a forensic interview, especially in a homicide case. What did you do with those notes that we just talked about, where you had Ms. Stauch sign something?
Whatever she signed there, what I had was turned over to me to be copied and shared with you.
May I approach a witness?
Oh, yes, you may go ahead.
I'm going to hand you what's been marked as People's Exhibit 735. Have you take a moment to look at that document?
This is not. This is a different patient with. But you have a question about it?
Yeah, I'm going to ask you some questions about it, sure. Do you
Because
recognize that People's Exhibit 735?
I recognize that it was a communication of mine. She just, to
An email between you and Mr. Cellini, correct?
the best of my knowledge.
And does that document accurately reflect that email that you had with regards to the EEG that we talked about yesterday, and whether or not you had knowledge that you were withdrawing your request to have an EEG done?
But to my mind, it was not simply dropping. It was saying, this is not right.
Dr. Lewis, just answer my question.
I,
Does the document accurately depict the email exchange between you and Mr. Cellini with regards to your knowledge of whether an EEG was withdrawn? Yes or no?
whether it was, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the word.
Withdrawn, your request for an EEG.
It was not a permanently withdrawn thing. It was saying right now.
No, I'm going to ask you to direct her to answer
Dr.
my
Lewis, the question is simple. Is this an email that you sent to Mr. Tellini? Yes or no?
Yes, it is sent to him.
Mr. Young?
Definitely.
We move to admit People's Exhibit 735.
No objection.
Exhibit 735 will be admitted. Go ahead.
And did you say in that email, go ahead and withdraw the EEG? We'll address it at a later time.
I said, now, if we could address it later, this did not mean it's not important. It was just organizing in my head as opposed to what I. that became less important than something else.
The email speaks for itself, doesn't it? You're dictating in the email why you didn't think it was important at that time.
Well, I was saying that there are other things have arisen that we should also address.
So why did you yesterday blame the attorneys that you didn't know anything about the EEG being withdrawn?
I did not consider this withdrawing it permanently, but simply I did not wish to fight with the court over are you getting this, are you not? The court refused to get it, and I was saying it can be addressed again. But I did not think of anything withdrawal.
Listen to my question carefully.
Yes.
Why did you yesterday tell this jury that you never requested to withdraw the EEG, that the attorneys did it, never told you anything about it?
Because I did not request to withdraw it. I said you could kind of wait and do it, and I did not think that they had.
Can I retrieve your document from the case? This is what you said in your email, and you can explain what it means after I read it, okay? I have been reading more on Letitia, and I think we should drop the EEG request. What does that mean to you?
Rest of it, know the timing of it, and know what I was thinking about at that point that was most important. But this was not something that I was going to say, I can't possibly assist you if you don't have this. I think I think we should have it, but we can wait. Get it later. In fact, it may be, I could be mistaken, but I believe that Mr. Delaney had said to me, there will be appeals on this.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that be
Your Honor.
Dr. Lewis. I'd like Dr. Lewis, please stop.
Wait. One at a time. Dr. Lewis, please confine your answer to the question being asked. Mr. Tellini will have an opportunity to ask you questions on redirect. And if there's anything that he thinks you need to bring up, he can bring it up then. But just confine your answer to the question being asked. And Mr. Young.
Your Honor, I would ask that what she just said be stricken, that the jury be instructed to disregard it.
Mr. Tellini? All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you're instructed to disregard Dr. Lewis's response to Mr. Young's most recent question. Mr. Young?
We're going to play the next video, okay? Would you like me to turn around towards the TV? Okay. And so for the record, we're going to play People's Exhibit 732. We're going to start at 1 hour and 7 minutes and 8 seconds and end it at 1 hour and 40 minutes and 8 seconds. So this is roughly 33 minutes. And so we're going to play it continuously through, Dr. Lewis. So if you wouldn't mind, I'll ask you some questions when it's over, okay?
Date of it again, please.
It's November 16th in the afternoon, 2022. We got the screen.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
My initials there. And who said that? She said that she didn't know who you were. Who was it? Okay. Because I didn't break up. You didn't know me. Sit by and together, but I can let her know. Again, there was just some tea there for baby TA, because it's also a child, right? And here is the subject when I was It's with me. Leticia. Leticia. That is Leticia. And so, Taylor, that's what he said with you. That was Leticia. This is, she's 11. Okay, you said you was enough to know Leticia, that's all. Yeah, but, Leticia wrote that? Yeah. Okay, and Leticia just want to say the left hand because you Taylor wrote, right? Just give me the number. And he said, Taylor, I don't want to play favorites. I'm on. You're important. Important. And each of you seems to the future. So, Maria, she's not her. Maria said she will come on her terms. Maria said she'll come on her terms, but don't think that she answers to anyone. Leticia can only talk to her. Not me. Not Taylor. Yeah, but I can talk to her. Yeah, but that's what I can't tell what to do. But she can, because I don't curse and do bad things. You see what I I don't curse and do bad things. I don't live through that one. Yeah, so that's why you see what I need to talk with Maria, because I think that Maria knows a lot more what happens when Leticia. Right, see, so like, because I'm a good person. Sometimes I kind of like get in arguments. She is like, because I'm not the good, not the bad. Leticia is the bad. You see what I'm saying? Like, that would look my better. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I do a lot more good. You see what I'm saying? You do a lot more good. Yeah. You don't always agree with the good. What you say is. Right. Okay. Well, I just need to do good. Let's, do good to people, do right by me. And you think sometimes no, I'm saying I think some things are good, you know what I mean? And so you think something's good that they don't. Right. And so that's why sometimes she doesn't like talking to me. Well, yeah, so it seems to me that sometimes you think it's good. To be the strong do fight for things under your control, and then they don't see it's right. I try to be the mediator or try to be calm. Everybody else get along, communicate, do good to people. What happens when you temperance? That's what happens to them. You take over and then takes away from the good part of Taylor. The good part of Taylor is being a good communicator, effective, not a bad temper. I can communicate effectively with them. You get up with you. If they come to visit me and I'm as myself as Taylor, then I can sit down and talk to them and be able to be nice and be oh, okay, how are you guys doing? They don't even know it's you. Oh, they come and they see I'm not whatever, I'm not Taylor. Because then I'm just thinking on. But I'm not trying to be me, but then really I can take it if they're like that. I know that's kind of election carrier. How straight are you with me? How honest are you? I'm honest with you. Okay. You believe you want to ask them, you're right. You believe to have it. Well, you can change your mind. What happens? Taylor, no, don't give away Taylor. Send him a sign. Taylor, and Marie, but it's not there. I didn't agree with sometimes Taylor, because you see explaining for stuff. You kind of go, where and with you, Taylor, I really makes Taylor again. Okay. So what happened was, did you want to tell you what happened? Sure. Okay, so the night of January 27th, 2020, I had reported again missing because he was. You had I had since January 7th, 2000. So you reported that he was missing. Because I was calm at first, because I didn't think anything was wrong. I thought that he was just playing a hiding challenge and that he would be okay. And I thought that he would eventually come out of his hiding spot. He would eventually, everything would be fine. He wanted to have a bunch of followers on YouTube. So I thought that the whole practice circular. So I wasn't in a panic mode. I wasn't any kind of like anxiety or like not yet. I was not there. Something had already happened to me. And nothing had happened to him. But we saw that after a while. And you were there. Right. He was missing. He was already, yeah, he was missing, but nothing had happened to him. He was missing. He was I guess he was the house or he was hiding. I'm not sure. That's why I moved to go to the room. I think all of you, right now, talk to everybody. I think all of you have been covering for each other. And, I think that you all want to, do right by the TC. Actually, you're really preventing them from getting help. Not always but I think you're afraid of telling what happened to them. I'm sure should I tell you? Do you want to keep going? Do you want to keep going? Or there's much to talk about. You're there. Yes. Well, as we heard, I'm just keep going. I'm just going to keep going. He was missing, and I called 911. I really started to panic. After a couple of minutes, that's when I started to get worried, because I realized that it started to rain, it get cold outside. And then after, when we was the first one, he was born. And I did try to bring him back and started praying over him and trying to bring him back to life. And when he didn't come back to life, we didn't. Where was he lying? Oh, in my arms. In your arms. Where had you found it? I don't remember where I found it. Just I found it. So do you know he was in the office? But do you understand why it was like that? It's like that. Because he wasn't supposed to die. He was not supposed to die. What was he supposed to do? He's not supposed to die now. Someone that made one person that shit. That was something else. No. What was what was the idea? What? It was not supposed to be him. It wasn't supposed to be him. It wasn't supposed to be. Wasn't supposed to be. But then it was scanned. What did you think it was? I'm not a monster. Okay. I'm not a monster. Simply any. I'm not a lesbian, and I heard people thinking that I'm just a mass murderer that just killed someone. I didn't know them scanning. Okay. Under no circumstances. You can just scan it all this. Were you doing something? It's not how it works. To do something with what was motive. Did it once to me? Did it look like something? Oh. You don't know what it's like in my life. I have to see when I realized that it was scanning. I never knew it was him. Which is someone was in the home, we don't understand. Someone was in the home, okay? Yes, they're in the home, yeah. Listen, big, okay? They built everything, okay? They're going to put everything. That was in the home, so it was going to hurt someone. Everyone was going to hurt someone. There was someone in the home. They were going to hurt everyone else in the home. What I did was grab a gun. What did you do? All I did was grab the gun and fire the gun because it like someone was in the cave, okay? So all I did was grab the gun. And what happened? You saw someone who looked like they were in the cave and I fired them. That's what I did. Okay? All I did was grab. You don't understand. I had to protect the people that were in the house. Okay? Because if someone was in the home, they were going to rape someone, they were going to molest them, they were going to kill them. I had to protect them. That's all I did. Okay? And I fired the gun. I did not know, didn't have a safety. I didn't know any of that, but that's what I do. I'm trained to do that. Okay? You're trained to kill. Okay? I'm trained to kill. That's what I do. I'm trained to kill. I'm trained to kill. That's what I do. I'm trained to kill. Okay? That's what I do. I kill for a living. Okay? Anyone that tries to hurt them, I'm trained to kill. Okay? That hurts anyone or nobody. That hurts the people that I care about. Okay? So you kill. I'm trained to kill. Yes. Yeah, that hurts. You didn't care. Yes. And that's what I did. I took the gun, I fired the gun at someone. They had a cape on, they looked like a dangerous man. You fired at someone, yes, a dangerous man. No, yeah. Fired with a dangerous man, okay? That's what I do. This is how I go. This is how you old. Yes. Always cheap. And then that's what I did. Killed the man. Okay? Yeah. Oh. They come to the home. That's what I do. I will protect the people that I love. I always do that, okay? I don't understand the problem. When did you realize it was not the person I didn't realize anything. I left immediately. I left immediately after I did my job. You were like this, I left immediately after I did my job. So
So what did you think you'd done?
Did what I was supposed to do,
Which is,
I killed a threat.
I know a threat.
The threat was there for the TC other family and for the threat.
Okay. What is the threat that made it so short?
Because the TC other family, they were missing and I had to protect them.
Who was this?
The TC's family.
Really? Who was it?
The TC's son was missing. To protect him, that's what I do. She was upset, everyone was upset. Little baby girl was upset, everyone was crying. That's what I do.
But then I left her crying. What happened?
I left. I don't know what happened at the end.
Who did this?
If I deserve it to the police,
What?
if I deserve it to the police.
I went to the police. I'm just it's double up.
What do you want to try? What do you want me to try?
Just you. Need money. Maria Sanchez.
Maria.
Maria Sanchez. Maria Sanchez. Each time you say, you know what I think? Right, I think let me say if you know what it's normality that you want to be almost invisible.
You know, I have jobs to do, I do jobs that are
You do jobs. Only what do
but it's easier.
meditation control.
I always have perfect.
For which held
When you turn this information,
us the gypsy people.
I don't answer to them.
No, you don't answer to me. I'm just trying to, I'm also trying to be emergency. I don't think you can tell. I don't think you know. Now I know too. I'm working my ass off to do all of this. It's so very tough, yeah. Because you're very strong, aren't they? So, this is very much. I don't know. Okay, I can say that not for you. Even my cabinets when I dress. I don't copy them. I don't copy them. You don't do that where you're like, I'm not copy. You don't copy this. Why don't you? Just tell me. You just tell me. The favor. A neighborhood, times a neighborhood.
Ever strong hand.
You see it. I think we all have a fantasy that holds strongly. And everyone help and defend.
Do you need any cups for me?
You don't need any more. Do you need any cups for me?
Do you need anything else from me?
No. Absolutely. You helped. And you got rid of what looked to you like something as nice and easier. you shot from the the person was went down and if they lived. The job done, correct, job done. Well, the job wasn't really done because, as I understand it, I haven't seen place, but
And then I had to go up and
how do you sort of not know that you'll
do it every time.
but in general,
Multiple times.
like,
It's about it.
So,
What did you do?
so, but you had to be there, so, and I certainly not, everybody contacts the rest of them. So you don't just work for the DC,
Okay. But I had to contact her before Mexico.
you did,
I had to protect her before Mexico.
you did, I did, you protected boys. Wow, how old was she when you first started?
My days is different than yours.
You were,
My years are different than yours.
how old were you?
Me,
You're healthy,
28.
so, she was without you, start, 11 years old.
I'm always 28. I always look this way.
Yeah, she's 39. So, relative,
My years are really different than yours. You cannot even comprehend my years. They're different. Don't even try.
I imagine her mysticals. Yeah. Yeah.
They're different.
So, did you protect her from the time you arrived? Or what was happening to her when you protected her? What would it is information?
I don't see any labs.
What?
I don't see any labs.
I did not without her permission. Her permission means. And we'll talk about it. Would you like you guys game to talk about stuff like how you want to use the information and Maria is? Sure. Yeah. Okay. So they will do that. And I think I know these people don't agree. I think none of us here would ever do anything like if we use these would only be in the TC's paper to get the TC's and some really educated good article names. Wouldn't it be good?
no, absolutely.
Yes. Take a look over there. Got a group there.
And I see that.
You always see that, like, yeah. We do. Yes, it seriously. I don't, it never told me. So, dealers, I want to thank you. You did very great yourself, Maria. Do you surprise yourself with the spray?
No, I didn't.
You are, this is what I do. Well, you do it, I know you're very brave to trust us. But we will only slowly talk about it. And if it does not help the TCU, I'm not going to use
It just stays here.
I think, honestly, we were pretty young today. Do you think we should take a rest for maybe an hour or two? And let's go back into it. And let's move. Is it her? Sure. Okay, so let's see. Between 2 and 3. I do need the promise.
I don't need promises. I don't
Okay, so I have a request. I would like you not to hurt me and to remain safe and strong, but not hurting. If you say this real where talent, you'll only need to tell today and tomorrow, but you have to really talk to those people. Well, maybe later on, maybe you would come forward a little bit and let me read you. But she doesn't just talk to you. I noticed only when I went with them, when I talked with her, that she got a feeling. I hope it's really, was I, and they asked, and that I don't know. But I would have that, and I would be myself. Do you? I would take a Maria, I have something that I'm very much surface to well, spinner I don't representing here.
Okay, the camera or the video stops at 140 and 08 seconds. Who was that other person that was leaving the room there, Dr. Lewis? Well, Mr. Cellini went out the door and then some gentleman with a mask on followed him out. Who was that person?
I don't recall, and
Can we just play that portion back? We're going to play the portion back. You can just look at this TV right here. Okay, we're not talking about him, Dr. Lewis. Please keep watching. Freeze it. Who's that person right there?
I don't recognize him.
That's not your son? You don't recognize your own son?
Because he was running the camera, but I don't recognize him.
Running the camera, Dr. Lewis. He's going out the door when the camera shuts off. What is your son doing in the interview room?
Particular interview, we had asked when we at her, and I'd asked her, could have been. No, I didn't.
Is that recognized within the field of psychiatry to do forensic interviews with people who are charged with first degree murder and bring your son along?
Stand it. Here. Cameras be on us, and that there be company with that. And I had said I'd like to have them on. It was Stauch who told me have to be.
Yeah. Well, this investigator seated in the back courtroom was in there, right? Mr. Cellini was in there. Why was your son in there?
Son was asked to run, if he knew how, could he run the cameras?
Why did you stop the interview?
I'm tired. Seemed to try. Probably not at all.
Well,
you don't go on endlessly.
You spent a day and a half, hours of talking to her, trying to get Maria to come out. According to you, I'm assuming you're saying this is Maria who comes out that we see?
Here, I'm asking myself, who is this? If you look at the characters they're talking, there are times that apparently she goes by Maria. Her expressions change. She looks different. She sounds different. She does different things. She protects. That if there was a back and forth over how she perceived herself, what's going on in her head. But I think that there were times when we saw I don't think it was always Maria. I think that there were changes there as I watched as a clinician. There was not a consistent.
Okay, and so you're saying that Letitia could have came back and faked the Spanish accent while she was faking to be Maria? Is that what you're saying?
That is not the truth. You did.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying. I don't think it's faked. I think that she switches back and forth, and her identity and who she is good.
What did you talk about after the camera was turned off, Doctor?
I beg your pardon?
What did you talk about with Maria after the camera turned off?
I have no recollection of talking with her after the camera was turned off. No idea. I don't know for sure on the papers, but I can tell you sometimes if things seem that they're slowed down or that patient would be improved, sometimes I will write back and forth. Those were preserved, but I don't know who she was at different.
You didn't preserve those documents. We've already gone through. You did not preserve those documents that you see her writing on, did you?
I do not know. I'd have to look, but I don't have a recollection of having preserved them. They were kind of a communication device there, and I made, they may be there. It might be, and they may have been handed over. I don't have perfect memory of what happened to those papers.
Other serial killers that you've interviewed that you've diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder, for instance, the ones that are on your HBO documentary, when you ask them to change personalities, they do. Some of them do the same neck roll thing.
What?
Do you remember that? And when they change personalities, they confess and they tell you how they did the killing, correct?
Some. When there is a real definitive kind of different, this is a fluid kind of, as I told you, not on again, off again, perfect, logical.
But what Maria says to you is mistaken identity. I didn't know it was Gannon. I shot the gun one time, correct?
Someone says this, and another time, someone there with this very odd demeanor says, I'm there to protect them. I protect them. There is a fluid kind of.
Did she, Doctor, just listen to my question carefully and just answer yes or no if you could, okay? Did she tell you that she mistaken identity, didn't know it was Gannon, fired a gun one time, did what she had to do? Or words to that effect?
Early on.
In this portion we just saw.
At the beginning, I believe at the beginning of the, then she's talking about other things, so that about defending
and you know that's not how Gannon died. He didn't die from one gunshot wound, did he?
No.
Why didn't you confront her on that?
It does not make logical sense, and on how you conduct psychiatric interviews. In fact, it's amateurish to say, oh, but you said this at that point. How come you're saying it now? This is amateurish work, if anyone does that. Not do that. Follow what is going on, and you saw in front of your eyes without asking anything or her. Expression change. You saw what this person said. Change. I take care of them. I hurt the people who are out to hurt them. And I have down here, as I'm looking at that thing, this tissue.
And Dr. Lewis, I just want you to respond to my questions, please.
I'm
okay?
trying to do that. I'm saying,
Can you listen to my next question, please? Robert De Niro did a pretty good job at that in the movie Cape Fear as well, didn't he?
no,
He didn't? Okay.
no, Robert De Niro.
Actors do a good job of acting, don't they?
No, Robert De Niro was not an outstanding, in fact, he was not dictating a monster necessarily in his year. No, he did not see.
Did he?
Again,
All right, I'm gonna.
to do forward, but no, it was not a wonderful.
Can we agree to disagree on that? Please.
See the first game.
All right, we're going to go to the last clip, Doctor. Okay, and this is longer. This is going to be, I don't want to say, about an hour and 30 minutes or so, okay? So are you comfortable there, or do you want to go somewhere else? This is going to be a longer clip.
5 minutes has water and.
We can get you a drink of water, and we're probably going to take a break in about 20 minutes. So find a
Okay, so
good place.
it will be a bit of a break.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to have the jury sitting there for all of this. So find a good place in about 20 minutes, and then we'll take our break there.
Sounds good, Judge. Thanks. And this is People's Exhibit 734. It's the afternoon of November 17th, 2022. It starts at 8 minutes and 23 seconds, and we're going to go to the end.
Find a reasonable breaking point.
Sure.
We just need the TV on, Judge.
Oh, sorry.
And this is the confession. This is under the balance. I, Maria, confess.
It's not English.
Confesso pro para magna we say alentente. Arte read Lencare say Dana Maria say Vida Sana and Conversano Veteran Desunt. What does it mean?
I don't know.
Well, what made you say it's a confession?
Because I saw
This is as an confessor. I, Maria, confesso, we don't know what she's confessing to.
I know I just told you it says foundation and that I don't want to.
But hold on, did you ever take Latin in school?
No, I just figured it was that. Just to be different in Spanish because of the way they did it back here in Chile.
It's not Spanish.
Yeah, I knew it was not Spanish, but I
don't know Spanish.
Yeah.
We would be what? They didn't.
It's not Portuguese. That's what I said. Maybe
Maria Benzana. Maria is it's the same mind. It's not Benzana in Conversano. Veteran. Well, maybe have these in photocopy flash. Because it does look as if she's saying, and I'm Maria in the same state of mind. Requiescat in pace, rest in peace. Yeah. Anita, aka, what is Alenia?
I don't know. I don't know.
We say defending, something about defending, and for us to this is updated, which would be kind of a free
You think a lot of languages. like saying French, so
and the old is saying the regular mass and regular mass, and that's not. I get it. Okay. So anybody here? I don't know.
So let's see. That's the lady that's been here for a while. She keeps going back to her husband. He keeps cheating on her. And what are you doing that here? She gets the domestic violence. Yeah. And I keep talking to her guys. She's like a young lady. The young like the man who used to be in her breast. Yeah, it was. I know. Oh, she keeps getting in trouble when she what's from yeah, it was yeah. Well, it could have been a player. Oh, I know. He's looking it up. But yeah. That's what it's studying punches, I think, from the mass, resting place, right? Mm-hmm. That's very, but you believe that is a confession from Marie. Well, I was still the one word I thought was the O. Yeah, the confession. That's the other West. Says that. Well, because of that's why I say the UV, and that's why I thought that would be different in Spanish because it wasn't. That's so other than that, that's why it was Spanish. It was for illness, and right, so she can feel it's from wrong. So I was it was Spanish, so I figured out something. Do you think that Maria did it? Oh, I didn't. I remember it. And just had little flashbacks or what I mean. What are the flashbacks? Just smell blood. Yeah. And take from like a woman out to the cave. Oh, okay. Tell me about the cave. Just remember seeing someone in my cave. I remember seeing someone in my cave. You remember seeing, I heard a baby crying. Have you heard a baby crying before? Yeah, it's a lot. Really? See this? I just remember a baby crying and seeing someone in my cave. This is interview. So, tell me about the person in the game. So, the person was in like a red and black cave. Yeah. How big it was? I recall. Yeah. Yeah, 6 foot. Man? What was a man? A man. Tall. 6 feet. And see. I just remember being like in a room in a corner or something I hate in front of him. Was he in the corner or you? No. The man was in the cave in the corner. The man was in the cave and the cave was red and black. I thought yesterday I remember what Maria said that Janet got up and was in the cave. Because I don't remember Anthony people. No. Josh, yesterday, I thought that the picture was of Janet in a cave. Now I realize even I never wanted to be Janet.
Yeah, it was a man.
Yeah, it was a man that rose up. And where was Janet? I don't know.
it would help if I talked directly with Maria, because she arrives. And she could probably control us. She said, I can't. So that, it's better to this if we try to clarify. She would never find it. She would feel good. Well, let's. I mean, would you want to just kind of fade into the background of lunch and I'm going to go to because if someone put it on, should be on the same thing. That's a really terrible. Really good. The ladies always keep, oh my God, you know, the horrible does say really bad. They let the sideburns on the, or they let the sideburns on the, and he has a down from that. But, and so, Marie? Marie? Not bad. What is caught your attention there? What do you see? Video. Maria, I think it's done for me. Which story is Leonard? Yeah. I don't know. Maria. Tell me that. In your interview, and what the language is in, and what is it? How many would it be? Kind of funny. It's really, it's just and you want me when you want you should read that. What do you mean? No, just the scroll up here. You see my hand? What do you want? I want you to tell me what it's not. Can you translate? Of course I can. Can you translate? Would you translate it for me? That's governance. I don't know to with the like I'm to and both of like to and when they what's here and was it too fast for the university. I'm going to yeah, what is here? I volunteer self-defense. Self-defense, yeah. I confess in self-defense, what did you do? Kill me. I had the impression that we don't want my teacher to be blamed for what happened to them. That you feel more powerful and more in control than it was it's only was moving or was do you think, harmony sometimes means people not sounding out of key with each other? Just whether or not is harmony was left. And how was initial to and who was and who's it in that Leticia's dad. Leticia's dad or that is or something. You said well, let's be harmony. As you did. But experience. And who's harmony something? I think it's just harmony. Yeah. Just for the rules of the if you said harmony is a baby, she's 10 years old and she was molested by her stepmother. Again, was molested. And again, was molested by a stepmother. By who? Which like, my molested again and harmony. I understand. Molested and harmony. And harmony is 10 years old. When was that? And he was 10 years old. And what's that? I don't know. How do you know about this? Leticia told how did you know? And she wasn't going to help. She was going to handle it herself. Leticia, yes. She's the man, so. Oh, she, like when first did, it's all about the just kind of putting two and two together. Totally, like. She's going to have with herself. I'm confused. What is what? I can understand. You don't know this, but you know his first name is like yes. And he bothered again. How did you? Did I bother harmony? I thought you said that he left you harmony. No. Harmony spelled that in his defense. I thought that was the same one. No. Who was someone extended? James. my handshakes. You were molested. Leticia. Tell me about the trip. All right. And I got about it. I did not got about it. You didn't go to Florida. I thought that you were after Janet died. You said it was a one shot. I did not got about it. Why? Because Florida I wasn't about it. To Florida? Because Leticia went with Janet after you died. I had to talk to you. What work did you do while they were in Florida? I was doing other jobs. Like what? Taking care of other people? Really? Getting rid of them? You know? What? Look around money. I think a lot of money. I think money too. I'm money laundering. I really want to win. Through what? I can tell you the scenes. Have you ever been in Mexico? I started on there. Someone was going to Leticia. Someone was going to Leticia. Hold him. Heard him. What is it? Job was going to go around. Job was going to. So you've really been her defender for a long time. Nothing, of course, about it. Not too many to that. The dog. Do you have family where? I don't even. Can you remember them? They all died. Really? You should know this. Why? You think I would order with 50 people voted in without having a backstory? What's that story? You don't say. So, why did Leticia take and down? She did not published it. No, she did not. What makes you say? Because I already know. I mean, you did not. I mean, you did not. As I understand it, was down here. I mean, you're wrong. I think kind of you're wrong. Well, back to me, you're not wrong. Perfect. You do not know. No. You don't know. Do you know? And I know people. Yeah. Why did she get rid of Ian's body? She didn't do that. Who did? Did you? No, not people, like I said. Or I know other people, like I said. So did you get from me? So you got somebody to like I said, I want to tell me Maria after getting this shot. I'm just getting into it. We said, kid, what? How did you manage her? If I didn't get to the hospital. But yeah, she was not strong. Lena tried to help her. Lena tried to help her. Lena tried to help her, really.
Was the other day when he came? Unfortunately, I was there. And what is right? She held her hand in her. Were they home? Yeah. She was sleeping. She was what? She was a child. They grew up. No, that's a picture. She sleep blood. She wondered why I was blood everywhere. Yeah. So she wasn't there when you were sleeping. She stayed asleep. It's my understanding it's that you shot the man with the cave. Correct. Did it turn out to be that? Not to me. How did it happen there? How did it turn out to be that? Later on, it was fine. But it was supposed to be. I didn't get it. I had to figure out what to do with it later. Once it was scanned, figure out how to do it. To call some friends, the puppies and some moms, figure it out, you know. So there were two people. No, I had to call some friends to call me out, you know. To call some friends to help me out to do what? To get into the body. Where the man in the cave? Well, it's not a man in the cave. I thought it was the man in the cave. It's not. It was again. But after the PCA. Do you have any idea why, yeah, in your recollection, you were at the time, seemed to be a man in the cave? I don't know. That's one just like you figure out the news. Here, I think the teacher showed that Gavin was on that language, right? She said, see, Gavin right. Do you think that he could have stood up and put the blanket around him so that he looked like the man? There could be a possibility, but to me it was a key. But to me it was a key. Yeah, but I was trying to wonder if then it turned out to be Gavin. And you meant to only shoot a man with a gun. What did you think he was doing? What to shoot? He's going too far, but he's here at the purpose. And then I was here. Why the man be in the house with me? Okay, no. Do you allow me normal to be? You think that the person had a man with a gun. Or would you go for dance and normal? But I didn't know. Probably well, like no. When did you try to different things? I didn't. You didn't shoot. Correct. I'm special training in my house. Who were you when you passed away? I already told you I can't tell you about my family. And that would tell me if you told me that your past. Can you put me in touch with somebody who would tell me about why they took Gavin to Florida? Tell me some of the reasoning behind it. Because I have to look to see it first. You have to. But I will see it first. That's not a long time. So, if somebody were to tell me that Leticia was someone else, perhaps, put in the car and went to Florida without being protected for that. Get in the trouble? I cannot be very trouble. The protector first. Yeah. Associate power. If you not have the most intelligence, at the executive. Doesn't matter who was in the end. When I'm not crying for so what happened? What is going to be? But I'm not I feel that time with me. Are you a director? And I'm what? Are you a director? Oh, what? A director. Dirt. So, correct. Right, you're a director. This. Yeah. I do my best to help reduce. So, and then but if I had emotions, yeah. I can cry. You can't. If I cry, you lose your power. Mm-hmm. So if that is not something you get rid of the body, it's easy for me. That's hard. Can the teeth well? Sometimes she got better from that and she cannot. But I'm you first come to the teeth. A very long. How old was she? Being like 16, 15, 16, it's about that long. She's pretty old. What was going on with her when you came? She didn't have to say. Pardon me? She didn't have to say. That doesn't quite explain why you came. She gets herself in a her. When we think that she brought herself into my she did the back and yeah, and what she did. And I have to communicate effectively. Yeah. Because there's only one problem she should be involved in. She's covered. What is going on with her thing is you say that you help her. So there must be something she needs to help with. What's that to her people? You saw for me. You don't really know. I don't know what. You don't really know what's going on. Yeah, like you kind of wonder if she has a lot of mistreatment by then. So it certainly makes me wonder if someone was mistreating her. Is it? Do you really know what she does in the drugs? Why she is? You do really know what she does in the drugs? Why she does? What she does in the drugs? Oh, why she doesn't like drugs? Why doesn't she like drugs? Because I'm standing there trying to start selling the drugs. Yeah. Selling her? Selling the phone drugs. Oh, jeez. Which is it. Okay. Jane suggests and selling her would be right to what did not succeed. That's not. What was that, Andrew? He was making her drive around the car and get drugs for him. But to try to get her Spanish her drugs. His nephews. Did she not do? Did she? No, she did not. How did she? She didn't know how to have the board. She hit him with the board. Who? James. When you saw the boy, when the man was the king, he had a hole at the top of his head. What I was wondering is, if you were anybody, I didn't mistake him or see, hit him on the head with a board or with something. He hit his head on the road. He hit his head on what? On the road. On the floor. I don't think you've seen the picture of that day. He hit his head on the road. There was a baseboard in the floor in the wood.
You have to get something.
Because on the floor, there's days where it's the calendar, doesn't mean it's said. You could be trying to tell you this time. That's what happened. You just said on the days where
Doesn't fit.
okay, let's just go back.
Look at the picture. You just said on top of this there.
And then that's all that is.
That's all the means. So, James, we're trying to sell, we did see it. Where is the team? What would you do?
You know, cocaine. Once you got around with it, okay.
You can go here.
Which is right. There's kids in the family. Babies. There's babies in the house.
What are you baby? Well, that's it.
She has siblings.
So,
And she has siblings.
siblings.
And she has siblings in the house.
She's siblings and she was
Julie.
Julie. How old is she?
I don't remember how she was. I wasn't there to be happy.
How long did she have to? What's did you do, son? She's 30 years old. And then,
Just being with the war.
and so
She being with the war and he found
being to James was bored. Where
in his home.
usually when
Tomorrow.
did you do?
No, she was sent me. But he didn't know anymore.
Was it really you?
Yeah.
What makes you what? Because he didn't know anymore. So you had to do that very time.
Came to see. Gone on board. Went to sleep, but gone on board. Just getting rid of. He said, you don't go in the trunk or room or hide. At least you had room to show for it.
Oh, James.
That was me.
That was James.
Yeah, of course.
And that was when
He was trying to follow everybody's hand.
something was real. Very upsetting around that time. And, people got confused. Who was the person for the queen? You know, see Leticia.
James Warner case. James Warner case.
James Warner case.
He did stuff.
Did you expose himself? Why?
You don't know about the case because he thought he was a hero.
He thought he was a superhero.
He was brown nose. The ball was
Oh. Didn't follow them along when they were going to Florida. Carla went along with her, and she wasn't she good? I think she did. What? I think she did. I think she did. How did you feel? Nothing. She had nothing. Did you know that Gavin was in bed? No. There's no better than that, no more. Someone else help. Someone else help. I already told you, like all different people to know. I don't know why this is hard for you to understand. Really? What I understand, this year, we're over there to Florida. And then after she got everything, suitcase, and she did not do that. I already told you, I got someone else to do that. Well, remember, but was put again in her suitcase and kept him there, and then went down to Florida, and then you just him off the side of the bridges. Yeah, and she did not do that. And I had someone else to do that. I already told you that. I think that's someone else. One time, I already told you. But if he knew that, she wasn't aware of that. But she was down in Florida. Of course she was. So what was she doing? But she was going to go to Florida. She was going to move to Florida. She was going to move there. They won. That's her same place. I've never said that. I don't know who we must go about it. I mean, is it your tongue? I don't know, maybe if you let her, anything you can let her. Where would you get away from? I mean, sleep. That's good. I remember. And if he was looking sad, everyone thinks the worst of us. Since she's still before, yes. Maybe you don't have any works or anything. But there's a DC about what happened to get. I've been trying to close up the video that I stop. And he wants to kill himself because of what happened to him every day. Oh my. He died of September 20. So September 20 was a G. There's multiple things. Multiple things. Multiple things. Does it mean that I had really hard most of her head open? If she does to fill something, will you make a deal with me and keep her safe and not let her harm somebody anything? Is all her heart. How else is she driving? Started with Sadie, I thought we kind of was Visine. Visine and Dorothy. The boys are the here and what happened? Did they find him? No, they didn't even. Another thing found him. Another related, they tell. No, they did not snitch. There's part of everything.
Should be the ball up there. To jump over time too. Yes. So what I mean, and we can jump. Would you just write down the I wrote down the stuff. Yeah. So that she would hurt herself. Why did she hurt herself? That we hadn't. Yeah. Why would you think so bad? You have someone like me who doesn't care, don't care what other people. This is for good. She has someone like her, but she thinks that she did it. Right? You know, someone like her, don't hurt. Yeah. So, yeah. Maybe here, how do you do it? I was driving to run, that was someone else's hand. Yeah. And someone really good shit on. You? Oh. Perfect. I need to kill. I don't think we got the shots. Well, how did you feel? The person in the cake was dead. It's not my first thought was to get rid of the bottle. My first thought is to get rid of the bottle. The shooters are correct. And the probability. And they. I don't need my social life. I don't need my social life. Cinch on my socials. And probably. So did the past too, you know. I think you read a lot. You know, I don't read it all. You don't read it all. No, so where do you get your kind of psychiatric conclusion? That's what I did. And I'm trying to brush over him. Now I know. Different life. How many months? Here's the purpose and we should come out. Are you? Yeah. You know, it seems to me that sometimes when you want to do right, like we seem to hear at Leticia, that your thinking is kind of wacky. And she gets blamed for stuff that is really pretty wrong. No, it's very, very true. This is a pretty serious thing. One of my odds, they're very, very slim. But what else? Usually I never call flying things. Well, in this case, she takes the blame. That's perhaps why we don't get caught, because someone else takes the blame. But I always take over her. You take the times that I take over her and I rescue her versus the time that I make a mistake. Say outweigh. You take over her. And the good outweighs the bad man. What if you tell me the good parts? You take it over her and you know. From the very beginning, I saved her like multiple times. The good outweighs the bad. If I had not done those things, she would not even be here today. So why does it matter? If I make a mistake, why does that matter? Maybe you have special powers, but I'm not perfect. Well, I'll say, I mean, this is a... Do you think I'm going to make a mistake? Do you think I have even made a mistake? Do you think I have even made a mistake? No. I can't understand the word. Do you think I have even made a mistake? Yes. Do I have anything when I'm going to everybody? Do you? No. So what do you do yourself? Try harder this time. But you say that the good you've done yourself. When she was in, what did you do? I didn't start helping her until she's old. I didn't start helping her until she was old. How old was she? She was still a teenager. And what did you do? I took her from James. And how did you do that? He could her on the floor how she could not stand. And said, she threw her on the floor and she could not swim. He threw her in the pool and she could swim. She could swim really good, but she had cracks. Leg cracks. I saved her. How did you save her? Put her in the leg elbow. She would float. Did you? And he threw her to tell me. Where does anyone else know about this? Like happened in Georgetown, South Carolina. Who was there? It was at Miss Pearl's house. And Brenda went there to Pearl's house. And so Brenda went to Pearl's house. And Brenda, we all went to. And I don't know Brenda. I don't know him. I don't think so, Miss Brenda. She's come through as easier. She's can't come as easier. She tells her. Does she sometimes take over? No, Brenda's family. Do you know any Brenda?
Yeah, that's for the teacher's ad.
And she says that Brenda has been helpful to her.
He went to her to Pearl's house. Pearl's house is where they got Pearl.
And dear girl.
No.
And that's where she served her. That was for James.
Correct.
So it's like to.
Maybe I speak to Pearl.
Can you do that? Do you know Pearl?
I don't know.
Where?
I don't know.
We don't know what you do.
Okay.
I can ask Grace.
She lives in Georgetown, so they don't even know what he done. Stay there. He laughed, no, it's funny. He's crazy. He's dead, right?
So he was great.
Of course.
When else did you know?
You're in her car and tried to kill herself.
When was that? What's that? Tell me about the car.
She tried to kill herself and she learned how to get her free.
And did you do anything to help her? What did you do?
After we got the car,
Get out of the
cross the city.
But what do you do when she wants to kill herself?
Well, she's in the park that she was living.
So how come she tried to kill herself and
She thought she saw her into her car.
she thought
She saw her ex-husband in the car.
was he the car?
She thought she always saw him.
Women.
So she told him that she who knows her about she's very little before you get things about her. Does anyone know her? This is I don't know. She has friends, but I have friends when she doesn't. Why did you because she did not have any. She did not have anything. She did not have a weapon. Maybe no one would have been there. You have other info. Yeah. And you? I didn't think that. Of what they did. When I told you I would not tell you. Did you kill him? No. But not what I asked him. Sounded hard. So you have lots of secrets. So I understand you. You know, this time, looks as if the JC's going to get the money for stuff that you were involved in. I'm so predictable. How will you protect? Someone must have heard her or something. And so, what's my child to work for us to protect her? And how do you protect her from taking the lead in all of this? That can't hurt her. So this is called her physical pain. Is that the only kind of pain you protect her from? Yes. We're going to get pain. I can control that. It's interesting. And you two have limits. Can we do anything for you? No. Think about it. It's a pretty good law. Yes, these people here, they have any questions. I'm going to answer to them. Let me see the last. Do you have anything you'd like me to ask?
So who are the people that helped get in the Florida?
They don't.
That how did get in Florida?
What's that?
Specialized. Where's the question?
And I need to fire.
I called some friends that I told you. I called some friends that I told you.
Well, I remember they have. And then she went up to Seth Rowan.
Who is she?
He's here.
I told you my involvement in this.
I'm trying.
I told you my involvement in this, and I don't have to tell you who I called.
Why?
This is important.
Well, it's
Everybody already said she would take the blame for that, but I'm not going to explain who was involved.
Well, probably taking a blame for that.
That's something to do with me.
Because they charge Harley, there's something you can charge Harley.
how do you feel about her?
That's something to do with me now.
No, just feel for you. How do you feel about her?
TCR.
Even from Harley. Excuse me? Even from Harley.
I'm going to Carly if she needs me to, but I want to protect the TCR.
You would protect her.
Her.
There is someone toss. Garrett, out of the car. You want to listen. It's completely unwise that.
There was a trying to false and out. I never said that. They were not trying to toss them out. What were we doing? What do you think? Seems to go out. They were not trying to toss them out. But he went. So you wanted to be good safe, but the person told me. Even though I'm not going to get it for what? I just separate what you hear. Person saying because they didn't have the money to get rid of the money. Yeah. There you go. With the for money, with her, when they dispose of the so what did they miss up there? The money didn't come out. So, like I said, I'm not getting names, so the money did not come out. So, as far as you know, she went to Florida to help other people. She was not in the right mind. She did not do what she was supposed to do to get the money to people. She was not in her right mind. What kind of mistake with you? I don't know what control when he said she wasn't in her right mind. Because I told her to do something and she did not know. What you tell her? She was supposed to need the car to get the money. Yeah. And she did not know that. What did she do instead? She was pretty driving wrong routes. Was not the correct route she was supposed to drive. You know, to her, okay, she was supposed to be in the right place. She did not need the right place. Okay, it's the wrong route. Correct. Yeah. So it was, no, it was perfect. But that made it, you made the deal and where couldn't be some. But still, I don't think she did get rid of the bottle. Interest. They just told you she did not need the people. The people are here to give them back their money. I know, but somebody tossed the body out of the car. Correct. And they didn't have their money. There was no money. They tossed the body? Yes, she never had the body. She did not take the body to the car down. Who took the body? You just asked me this question. They're not accepting the truth. Well, I'm confused. Okay. They're not accepting the truth. She never had the body. So unless she tried to scoop it, but there's no evidence of her having the bodies there. Wasn't there evidence? Oh no, suitcase wasn't evidence. That's not evidence of her having the body from her missing car. No.
The suitcase with the body according to Harlan was in the van.
No, that's the thing.
That's what Harley says.
Well, I don't know what this is.
And the suitcase was found wrong away from the hotel that she was staying in.
She did not think it intentionally. There was no bill.
Nope.
The people did not meet.
And again, get all the cuts on her.
Friend of mine.
No, they cuts.
There was no bill.
There were cuts.
I don't know anything about cuts. You're asking me here. That's not. I mean, it's something personal. I don't know anything about cuts. I don't know what that is.
That's a cut.
So there's stuff that even you don't know. I don't know this. I did not cut anyone. I don't know. I don't know. I did not cut anyone.
No, that's somebody hit him with something. That's a cut. That's the bull.
Where are you looking at the bull?
That's somebody hit him with something.
When you shot him? Where are you looking at? When you shot him? Did you know that? Where are you looking at? I'm hoping it's like what? When you look at it, you did not. Correct. And the photos come in here. Yeah, homeless. Did you think it's the devil? No. And then on the woods, and then she drained by and keep the and so you go down. Yeah, so you live on 6 foot. Yeah. But person to know I did. How did you feel when you realized it was again? I told you I did not know it was I didn't know I recognized it. And I told you I did not have emotion to know that I did it. I don't know if it's saying. But sure pain. No, I think you can do that. I don't have things. One of the feelings better than I want to explain. I don't have feelings about that. I didn't say nothing. I'm sorry that it happened for Leticia. Well, because of Erica. And she's upset, I'm upset. She's upset. Yes, just underneath that, trying to put the stuff. You do it. I did it, you know. And you're so good at stereotypes. Everyone. But, I think that if you feel better when that things happen to Leticia. Maybe. It's good son. Yeah. It's good son. Do you know anyone who knows why they didn't have a father and who helped carry the family? Do you know anyone who could help you? No, I didn't have a brother. I told you I didn't. I told you I didn't. Because of these people, where they do know who helped carry the family. She already told you that she will take good care of that. She already told you. You do not understand. She cannot know who you are. You don't understand how serious that is. You think this is a joke? Don't look this way. It's not a joke. Those are petty charges. Do you think this is a joke? That is a joke. You cannot tell on these people. I don't think you guys are understanding how serious that is. You mean they would kill me? You don't understand. It's not funny. It's not made up. It's not a delusion. It's for real. The money wasn't there. You can't snitch. I don't understand why you don't get this. Can you tell me what's in Leticia family? Who are involved with research? She doesn't have family. What is wrong with you among friends? Do you think she went around a teaching salary? What is wrong with you people? What else do you think she was doing? You think it was legal? And so that's how she got off, right? Do you really think it was legal? Do you want me to sit here and talk with us? No. Okay. Okay. She didn't bad things to bad people, to good people, bad people, none of those. Kind of. She's definitely not going to tell you. Yeah. She's not going to definitely tell you that. Most other people die. No. That's a part of the peace that you cannot ever know. Because someday do you get a judge for the situation?
No.
Because some people say that you guys live in a perfect world and it's kind of big time. You live in a perfect world. It's not a game. I don't do games. Games are stupid.
But you're saying that there are very powerful people behind.
Absolutely. And that comes to that part. Absolutely. You also know what you want in the world. But I would never give you answers. Never. So I cannot.
Well, we just really want to know. A lot of we just want to know how. Yeah, we're going to be some kids. Who was 60? I'm struggling to do all that. So,
Because I'm struggling.
but
Maria has enough power. You not see me? Can I see the muscles I got?
so you're saying that
You could not. I could do anything.
do you have any other questions you want to ask?
Do you know anybody who could help without getting that cut?
Remember this concept again?
Yeah, it cuts on his hands and his arms and his chest.
And he's back. You're not patient as a bad thing.
No,
You promise.
absolutely.
He had enough in his head. Then I didn't know it was something okay. But it's not moving the name. If I look at us, it's not good. That's why I love these movies. It wasn't a bad thing. You won't give me the back.
You say here,
Yes.
what kind of
So,
stay in the kitchen knife?
yes. How did you get it? I don't know. But I didn't know here inside. It's early. It's one of us in it. I was down to smoking stuff, doing this, promoting the garden fire southeast.
You pulled it with the gun and then
But all the way at the garden, southeast moving off. Service. That's us. She's on killing. Including with the gun. The garden.
you dropped it out and it was ever found.
I don't know, but that
Do you know? Was it found?
was probably the picture.
They weren't necessarily looking for that, as they didn't know that he had the cuts on him. He was on a month and a half.
Had they noticed when we would put that over there, so blood on the probably.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who could have worked that?
And they were. Does he feel what I said? it was getting, and she was screaming, screaming. We have to listen to that. Clean the room, she was speaking better. If we do all that, we don't have it. It's not real. This thing really happened. And we just clean it all up, this thing really happened. She just fixed it. Make everything back to be the way it was. Not even it was real. And she said, we have to go to the hospital. We have to go to the hospital. And she was trying to take it to the hospital, and Lena was picking up spine and go to the hospital. So Lena was taking the body instead. That's what it's doing. Lena was taking the body to go upstairs to the hospital. It was just laying there. It was making that sound. God was making this sound. Trying to breathe. It's just trying to get it to breathe. They had all because could not breathe. She didn't seem to take it off, so she didn't breathe for him to be dead. No. How did you, when you struck the gun, who did you establish? And who did you say? The person came out of something, but you recognized it. No, the recall and me.
Did you think it was James?
Thought it was someone in the kid. You could have been a monster. Anyone.
Who was the one who got case?
James.
Yeah, but
I think it was James.
Driving around.
pardon?
Army.
I still don't understand.
I thought it was James. Did Army come out?
That's the guy was for me.
The baby cries.
Sorry.
Did Army hit him with anything?
Shit, I don't know. So they had no right to talk. I had no right to forget at all.
But then with Army trying to hurt James.
But Army was a little baby.
She's 10. Nobody was trying to hurt.
I have a question. It's like seeing after remember you.
It was I was not with her brain.
The reason I'm asking is, it is very, very, very common for someone who stands for all things that Leticia is through. Because the injuries start. But much of their lives, they hear a big crying. Sometimes they'll, I think you saw, if he referred to baby, but he was always crying and baby energy. But very many early on, toward forever, time here, they and it's interesting. I got no word the name Harmony. But it would
Can we talk about him?
but
Can we talk about him?
You have to ask Leticia.
people, when you go back to when you see, when you,
It's going to be so mad at me. It's going to be so mad at me. No, she'll be so mad at me.
why would you that you know what I'm saying?
She didn't have no way to tell you that the other night. She didn't want me to tell you because she doesn't want me to be painted as a bad boy.
You must have felt we needed her. And indeed needed.
Why did he have a note?
Sometimes God and I will need to just like space them down. Here I can keep some words.
We didn't grab that he was gonna hurt me.
No, he was a something member. He's something council member. Even though it's the guy who was for that. For the men. And this is about a monthly voice. Try to aim up for it. Something last week. So she didn't want anyone to know that. She didn't want anyone to know it's all good is that she will be anything else. I didn't know anything to be as bad as not bad. It's been easy what happened. Again, the my army is regular, like Spanish French was just to grab a weapon and disarm. Right. What is this? She did not put the mark on him. She never marked him. Here is what is this thing like to be able to share?
Stop the tape. It's the time
Okay.
so that we can get some questions.
Okay.
Yeah. Dr. Lewis, how are you doing? Yeah. You want me to help you?
I got it.
Okay.
Did you want to turn the TV up? And I'll turn the lights back on.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Lewis, I want you to do the best you can just to answer my questions so we can get through this quickly, okay? Is that fair? This Latin confession that you talked about in the beginning, you lost that, right?
And I don't know where it is.
Even though you asked to have copies done, you never found that confession again. Correct?
I was unaware of it. So it was on.
Okay. Now, do you still think, having watched this video, that it was a good idea to have Mr. Cellini in there with you?
Yeah.
Do you think it's appropriate for Mr. Cellini to plant the seed with the defendant that it was James that she actually shot?
I don't think that he entered any sense. I don't think that she came up with that. I think that I appreciated watching all of it was how extremely confused it was, how big it was. I think that it did help for him. It's so complicated for someone who knew much more of all of the details.
It helps his theory. And when he asked, do you think it was James? That helps the theory of the defense, right? That somehow she mistaken a little 11-year-old boy for the stepson that's been, or the stepfather that's been dead since 2004.
I'm not aware that this is his theory.
Can you explain why at one point the defendant could not see or hear Mr. Cellini? He had to repeat a question that Mr. Cellini asked. And then when Mr. Cellini asked about Harley, she answered it no problem. How does that happen? Did that not go as according to script?
I don't know what the script is or what you're referring to. I don't know why it's, what meaning that has. You did not know what had happened.
When she was pretending to be Maria, she said, I can't see them. Do you recall that?
I don't recall pretending to have, by the way, seen a couple of cases where in one iteration or person and either blind or that's also true. Other sensation.
And then she was somehow cured and could see him and answer questions, no problem.
This happens. It is well described.
Fluid.
Literature, and I've only seen it.
Why did you ask the defendant if she thought it was a devil or a demon?
Simply wondering. What did you?
Looking for evidence of psychosis, perhaps?
No, I'm not looking. I am not looking for evidence of anything. Trying to understand what she perceived. Because I know no evidence that she hated Gannon, so that she harmed her in any way that I could find a precipitating cause. I wondered, since it is fairly common for people kind of dangerous or frightening things, it apparently have some notion of some creature in a cave, that it was neither here nor there to find out did she see something different. And it did not seem to affect what she said. She clearly does not know clearly what was going on in her head.
Or she just doesn't want to tell you, right? She just can't bring herself to tell you what she did to Gannon, could she?
Well, but I think that you're correct that she something about what had happened there that is unacceptable psychologically. I question about it. She did it.
Well, and here's what I want you to consider, okay? This whole story about her acting in self-defense and Gannon having a knife and she thinking that it's crazy ass James or whatever the heck his name is and shoots him. And then it turns to self-defense. And it turns into someone gets rid of the body. It's just her not being able to tell you what she did to Gannon. Is that true?
Cannot tell us what she did.
And here's the flaw in your theory.
What is my theory? I'm not sure.
The theory that she had a different personality and Maria, the sociopath, did this murder. Okay?
No.
You can't explain, doctor.
That is
You cannot.
my theory. Do not.
Well, what's your theory? You're saying she's legally insane.
Yes, my really psychiatrically ill, and that she hallucinates, that she's delusional, and that her line of thinking is confused, addled, and frightened, but I don't have a particular theory that she killed this person for that reason.
Why didn't you ask her about why she gave Gannon an excessive amount of hydrocodone?
I didn't know that she gave that.
Do you think that's important?
Only if I know for sure she gave somebody that.
He read the autopsy report. You know it's there.
I know that he had this. I don't know who gave it to him. I've seen many cases where children have excessive amounts of poisonous things in their food. But there are many different reasons for it.
Your Honor, those are my questions. Thanks. I have no further questions for this witness.
Your Direct. I'll try to go. Dr. Lewis, how are you? We're going to rehash everything, but I do want to clear up just a couple of things with you. One, in regards to the EEG and the emails that were shown to you. As far as you saying that let's hold off on doing the EEG.
Yes.
That was at that point in time, and then you indicated that you wanted to do the evaluation first. Recall that from the emails?
Well, that there were other things to do, and it was not something that I was going to get hung up on at that moment.
At that point in time. And then in a report that you did for the court on February 12th, in that report, you put down the need you thought for both an MRI and an EEG, correct?
Correct.
And you recall in relation to this court, the issue being that this court would not give us
any more time to get those things done? Be relating that to you.
I'm going
What
to
I heard was that the court.
Sustained.
I was told.
Yeah, I have an objection.
Stop.
Okay.
The objection was sustained. The witness will stop responding to a question when an objection has been sustained. The jury will disregard the witness's answer. You can ask another question.
All right. Moving on to some of the other stuff. The district attorney on his cross insinuated some stuff that the motive for killing Gannon was somehow that Ms. Stauch wanted to move to Florida. Does that make any rational sense?
Not to me.
Can you think of any way that brutally murdering Gannon would enable her to move to Florida? Can you think any sense how that would fit into any plan to move to Florida? Does that make any rational sense whatsoever? If the definition of insanity in Colorado is that a person is incapable of distinguishing right from wrong with respect to an act, would that change your opinion on Ms. Stauch being legally insane at the time of Gannon's death? That last part that we were there, the interview, that was the last kind of part of a long 3 days of interviewing Ms. Stauch. Correct? Had I expressed my frustration that she wouldn't account for taking Gannon to Florida, or she wouldn't account for the stab wounds?
Objection or cause for speculation as to what Mr. Freening's thinking.
Had I expressed that to you?
He said expressed, so I think.
Well, then it's hearsay.
Well, can't repeat what Mr. Bellini had said, but maybe you should move to your next question, and I can see where you're going.
Was there ever any attempt by myself saying I need by myself to try to get her to say something specific or some type of theory or anything like that I had done with you? Okay. If you were aware that those videotapes were all going to be turned over to the district attorney, you're also aware that I have had years plus of confidential communications with Ms. Stauch. Are you aware of that?
I have seen it.
And if I was going to do something unethical, as they seem to be implying, wouldn't it make, I would have just been able to do that confidentially instead of on an open video?
I'm going to object to that form of question.
Sustained.
If I was trying to feed her a story, it wouldn't make any sense for me to do it in that setting where it's recorded, would it?
No.
In any of the materials or anything else that you have looked at, is there any other rational explanation as to why Ms. Stauch did this other than the psychotic episode? Any type of motive?
I'm unaware of any or any motive that makes any sense. Why he became a victim, what happened to him.
The state hospital has diagnosed her with borderline personality disorder. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Are there similarities between borderline personality disorder and DID?
Objection, Your Honor, beyond the scope of cross.
Oh,
Are there similarities between borderline personality disorder and DID?
Yes, they are.
What are some of those similarities?
Well, there are many similarities. The reality, what is real, what is real. Difference in ability to way. Or you.
If Ms. Stauch had sometime in the years preceding this event had Googled, "I don't like my stepson," will that possibly explain the rage in which this homicide occurred?
I don't know.
Yes. Are you still firm in your opinion, your expert opinion, based upon almost well over 50, 60 years of practice, that in your expert opinion, Ms. Stauch was insane at the time of the death?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
Have you learned lots of things over your experience in interviewing and evaluating people with DID? Over the 40, yes, over 40 plus 50 years. Have you learned at picking up on subtle cues? Have you learned, or on your experience, that is it unusual for alters to have almost fantasy type lives?
I would say it's a definition of the
Or in your experience, are the alters perceiving reality as a rational person would?
Thinking of oneself as someone other than the everyday person that we read and know. This is a fantasy, often a very changing, different, altering kind of entity. It's not a consistent, a typical life history with ordinary relationships and family ties that go on. As you saw here, it can vary within the period of time you're talking with.
Absolutely. And Dr. Lewis, we're getting close to the end of the day. Is there anything last that you think is really important for this jury to know or understand about your diagnosis?
That what you call it. What you call it is so much less important than what you understand about it. What you understand about it is that this individual has been living a psychotic life unrelated to reality, related to the way you or I or the rest of us experience reality, that it changes. It has been often diagnosed as schizophrenia when people question whether association has many of the signs, symptoms, behaviors as what we call schizophrenia. Visual, they're very odd relationships, inability to sustain going. I don't care, call it, but in some psychosis with dissociative. It's that the person is living a psychotic life and continually stimuli that by and large are typical of her, that not stimuli that the rest of us receive.
I have an objection based on the last answer with regards to what we received in her scope of her that had been stricken.
Mr. Tellini?
I mean, I think that was in her report and she was expounding on what she had seen in the video and what was going on.
Well, I'm going to allow it. I'm also going to end this answer.
Okay. And then lastly, Dr. Lewis, just one other question that I had. Would it then, if somebody was suffering that type of mental illness, would it be possible for a daughter who has been with them most of her life not to be aware of it?
That's a tough question because to be aware of it would respond a whole. I can answer that just using not to be aware of it. To be aware of the term dissociation, not to be able to conceptualize psychosis. That, of course, is possible. But just to say not to be aware of it for certain psychiatrists.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lewis.
All right. Do any of the jurors have any questions for Dr. Lewis? Looks like we have. We've passed all of them forward and retrieve those in terms of approach, please.